We have visuals now coming in of the Prime Minister landing in Russia. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has arrived in Russia. This is an official visit of the Prime Minister, and these are live visuals coming in of the Prime Minister whose plane has just landed in Moscow. Remember, the Indian diaspora is excited as well to meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Earlier, we saw people gather in Moscow in anticipation of Prime Minister's visit. These are visuals now coming in of the Prime Minister landing in Moscow. Before leaving, the Prime Minister also spoke about the bilateral ties of India and Russia and how through this visit, both nations will attempt to further strengthen the ties. We have Rishabh joining us on the broadcast as well. Rishabh, visuals coming in of the Prime Minister reaching Russia.
The Prime Minister just landed in Moscow for his two-day-long visit where he'll be meeting Russian President Vladimir Putin. Apart from that, what's on the agenda? On agenda is defense ties, space ties, and other bilateral issues, be it S-400 radar, be it the nuclear-powered submarine, be it Su-30 MKIs. All these will be discussed between the two leaders. The Russia-Ukraine conflict will definitely be discussed. Remember, India has been of the view that there should be immediate ceasefire and cessation of violence on Russia-Ukraine border, and that is something that India has communicated time and again, including the Prime Minister when he met the Russian President last in September 2022 on the sidelines of SCO in Uzbekistan, where he said that this is not an era of war. Apart from that, if we talk about the bilateral relationship, India and Russia have been diplomatically engaged with each other for the last 77 years, be it 1971 war where Russia came to India's help, or be it the Indian nuclear test in 1998 where Russia stood by India. And even today, at least 60% of India's weaponry belongs to Russia and Russian technology. So the way India and Russia have been standing by each other, that is a testament of a long-standing diplomatic ties between the countries, and that will further be cemented with Prime Minister's visit today. He has just landed late in the day. He'll be hosted by Russian President for a private dinner, followed by discussion. Tomorrow, we are looking at summit-level talks, wreath-laying ceremony at the Tomb of Unknown Soldiers, and a community event for Indian diaspora as well. So a lot lined up for today and tomorrow as Prime Minister lands in Moscow. All right.
Rishabh, stay on with us. We also have Abhishek Vikram Singh joining us in the broadcast, joining us live from Hotel Carlton, Moscow. Apart from, the bilateral talks and multiple agreements between both nations to ensure trade balance, to ensure a strong tie, there is also going to be an interaction with the Indian diaspora. Abhishek, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Actually, as we got to know that PM Modi has landed, and we are waiting here with all the, you can say, children from the Indian Embassy schools. And tomorrow, as you know, we'll have a meeting towards in the morning, 9 o'clock with PM Modi, and that's like a meeting with the Indian diaspora. And today evening, he will have, you can say, dinner with Mr. Vladimir Putin. And it is the venue is just next to the hotel where we are having right now. And it's a hell lot of security over here. And I can say that yes, somebody big from India is coming over here.
Can you help us understand the atmosphere over there? How many people have gathered, to take part in this meet and greet or to catch a glimpse of Prime Minister Narendra Modi?
Actually, I can say that not so many people are allowed to come inside the hotel. We are inside the hotel right now. So something around about 200 people are here. Most of them are the students from the Indian school. And as we can say that outside the hotel, there will be a line of, you can see, people from Russia as well as India who will be welcoming Mr. Modi. And they are really very happy. I have seen the vibes on the faces of Russian people who are the Russian nationals. And they are really happy to have Mr. Modi here.
Absolutely. Since morning we've been getting several visuals of how the Indian diaspora is preparing. There are cultural performances lined up as well for Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And very interestingly, the young members of the Indian diaspora, they have gathered. They're raising slogans like Vande Mataram. Extremely excited to meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
Actually, yes. As you know, the people here, they are mostly young people. And these students, they really love Mr. Modi a lot. And the time we entered here in hotel, I can see the chanting of Vande Mataram and Har Har Modi. So I was also delighted to see these things, and I'm really happy to have them.
Okay, well, at the venue from where you're reporting, what's expected? What's going to happen next?
I'm sorry, I'm not able to hear you properly because there is a lot of sound right now because NSC is asking us to go a little bit behind and sit here in the restaurant area. So I am not able to hear you. I think we can join you as soon as possible and as soon as these guys will allow us.
Okay, all right, Abhishek, for the moment, then I'll let you go. Thank you very much for joining us. Let me, in fact, go back to Rishabh. Rishabh, Abhishek, they're talking about how excited the Indian diaspora is to catch a glimpse of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and to interact with him. And like we were discussing earlier, this, in fact, is a highlight now. It has become part of the Prime Minister's visits abroad. He makes sure that he does interact with the Indian diaspora.
Soft power worldwide.
Okay, I think we've lost that line with Rishabh. We'll try and connect with him again. Ceremonial welcome next for Prime Minister Narendra Modi after landing in Moscow. Apart from the bilateral talks, you saw how the Indian diaspora is also preparing to interact with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. There are some cultural performances lined up as well. Remember, this is the 22nd India-Russia Annual Summit, and for which Prime Minister Narendra Modi is in Moscow. Tomorrow he's going to be interacting with the Indian diaspora. We have Rishabh back with us on the broadcast. Okay, I think we're continuously losing that line with Rishabh. We'll try and connect with him again to get you more details. We'll also try and connect with more people from the Indian diaspora as to what can be expected, what are the preparations that are underway at the moment to welcome Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Several, of course, talking about how deep India-Russia relation is, how deep-rooted and historic it has been. On the other hand, this has also irked some in the opposition, with Jairam Ramesh and others, in fact, comparing the number of visits of Prime Minister Narendra Modi to Russia and that of Manmohan Singh and other Congress Prime Ministers. Rishabh is back with us on the broadcast. Rishabh, you were taking us through what can be expected in terms of bilateral talks. We just spoke to Abhishek. He was giving us a sense of what's expected from the Indian diaspora.
Well, definitely, we are talking about Indian diaspora. Indian diaspora has become a testament of Indian soft power worldwide. We have seen, be it the Howdy Modi that happened years ago in US to Namaste Modi happening in Sydney's Opera House, or for that matter, the way we have seen Prime Minister interacting with Indian diaspora in Japan, or for that matter in various parts of Europe as well. Today in Russia also, Indian diaspora is there to welcome their leader, the Prime Minister of the country. Remember, Prime Minister is visiting Russia or almost half a decade later. He last visited Russia was in 2019, and now he's visiting again for summit level talks. The 22nd India-Russia Annual Summit is going to take place in Moscow. Today, as Abhishek was also pointing out from the hotel where he was reporting from, that how people have started gathering to have a glimpse of Prime Minister, to wave at him and to speak to him as well. Remember, we have seen Prime Minister talking to people of Indian diaspora once he comes out of airport. We have seen similar scenes coming in from South Africa as well when he last visited South Africa, and for that matter any country that he has visited. And as you were saying, that yes, this has become a pattern. Through diaspora, India gets its diplomacy more power, and that is something that the Indian diplomats have understood, that is something that the Indian government have understood, and that is something that has gone very clear in a loud and clear message to the countries where Prime Minister is visiting as well. Many countries like United States or Australia, the Indian diaspora is a huge vote bank for the leaders as well, and that's why India's soft power is at display.
What we do know is, in terms of bilateral cooperation, the talks would be and would accommodate sectors like trade, energy and defense. But like you've been also pointing out, Rishabh, this is Prime Minister Narendra Modi's first trip to Russia since 2019. In fact, the first after the start of the Ukraine conflict in February 22. And as we speak, we are getting more live visuals. I believe we can catch a first glimpse of the Prime Minister in Moscow anytime now. Rishabh, over to you.
Well, definitely. See, when it comes to India and Russia have been having a diplomatic ties for last 77 years. Be it the USSR and after its disintegration, the Russian Federation. Both these entities have been India's long-standing partners. India's 60% of weaponry belong to Russian technology, and now when India is planning to go ahead with the Atmanirbhar defense units, Russia is standing strong with India in that endeavor as well. Having said that, if we talk about what's on the agenda, what's on the plate when both the leaders meet, defense is something which will definitely be on the talks, be it the S-400 radars, be it the nuclear-powered submarine, be it the Su-30 MKIs, or for that matter, other issues, other bilateral issues on defense that will be discussed. Space is something that is very, very important. And remember, India and Russia elevated their strategic partnership that was signed in 2000 to privilege and space strategic partnership in 2010. And since then, both the countries have been working together in space field as well. And Gaganyaan is something that India's ambitious program is underway right now. And Russia is all set to help India to get that as well. Having said that, energy is also very, very important. Remember, after the Ukraine war broke out, there were numerous sanctions on Russia.
Stay on with us. In fact, Abhishek is joining us back now on the broadcast, part of the Indian diaspora. He's joining us from Hotel Carlton. Abhishek, can you show us around while speaking? Can we also get a glimpse of what's happening there at the hotel? You said around 200 people have been allowed, but there's a huge queue, I believe, outside to meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
See here, see all the people are around here, and there are a couple of people, around 200 students and around, and our Indian diaspora guys are also sitting here. And if you want to see that, Sergi, how you are waiting for Mr. Modi?
Oh, बहुत अच्छा है, हम वेटिंग कर रहे हैं और मजा आ रहा है क्योंकि ये बहुत सालों के बाद आ रहा है इधर, तो हमको भी ऐसा लग रहा है कि यहाँ कुछ होगा और हमारा थोड़ा इंडिया और रशिया का रिलेशन है, उसमें भी समथिंग चेंज आएगा।
रमेश जी, आप भी वेट कर रहे हैं मोदी जी के लिए?
जी बिल्कुल, हम लोग सब यहाँ बैठे हुए हैं, मोदी जी का वेट कर रहे हैं। मेरे ख्याल 40-50 मिनट में मोदी जी गुजर रहे हैं अपने गंतव्य स्थान पे जहाँ हम लोग करने जहाँ रुकेंगे।
See, if you can see here in this hotel right now, almost everyone is Indian, and the entrance to the hotel is now blocked. And something around about in 20 minutes or in a maximum half an hour, PM Modi will be out there.
Right, Abhishek, I can see some people there holding the Tiranga. I'm going to trouble you a little bit. Would it be possible for you to speak to the people sitting over there?
Yeah, I got a chance to talk to some of the people. Wait a minute. Ma'am, do you want to say something to Times now? Are you waiting for Mr. Modi?
Yes, sir, of course. Sir.
Really? You guys are really excited?
We are very eagerly anxiously waiting to meet our PM, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
Ma'am, you want to say something? That's great. Thanks. Ma'am, sir, live sometimes, do you want to say something? That you are waiting for Mr. Modi?
So happy to see. First time, no, Prime Minister MC. So I'm so happy. I'm very happy that I can see Modi ji in Russia. So I'm very proud.
Hello everyone. We are very happy here. We are the teacher community. On behalf of our school, our principals, our teachers and students came here to invite grandly to our Honorable PM Modi sir. Welcome Modi ji.